We are the students from Ludha World School, Palawa, and we'll be presenting the findings of our research project titled Pink Pandemonium.
The research question that is taken up by our team is what has led to the increase in migration of flamingos to Navi Mumbai and what are its implications. Based on the research question, me and my team members hypothesized that yes, there is a rise in the number of flamingo migrating to Thane Creek due to an increase in the water pollution level. I earlier resided in Seawoods and used to see a large flamboyance of flamingos land close to my residence. With each passing year, I observed that the number of flamingos has been rising steadily. Few years later, I shifted to Palawa but still had the curiosity to research more on flamingos. During our brainstorming session for selection of the research topic, we decided to study this occurrence in detail, and hence we took it up as a research question. In addition, we also found out that the number of flamingos are rising due to the increased water pollution levels, which promotes the growth of algae that is the food of flamingos.
We explored our study area, the Talve wetlands in the NRI colony in the month of November 2019. The area attracts hundreds of flamingos every year between the months of December and March. Pollard walk method was used to collect field data. We identified the bird species visually in the field, followed by field guide verification by naturalist Jaya Wagmare of the Zen Foundation. We also interviewed her to acquire more information about the research topic. We collected water samples and tested them for pH, dissolved oxygen, and biochemical oxygen demand. For developing awareness about our research topic and its effects, we implemented the online questionnaire method, where people who resided in the NRI colony and the ones who frequently visited the sites were asked about their observations. And we also collected photographic evidence.
Several important occurrences observed by us during the field visit are as follows. The water was polluted and oily due to the presence of untreated chemical effluents discharged by factories and domestic sewage. This promoted the growth of algal blooms and hence attracted flamingos to the region. During our investigation of the study site, we came across plans about the development of an 18-hole golf course and a 17-tower township in the premises. A plan to construct boundary walls around the region was also concocted, which, if came to fruition, will cause severe damage to the habitat. From the tests conducted by us, we found that the pH and biochemical oxygen demand levels were higher as compared to the ideal levels, whereas dissolved oxygen levels were found to be lower than required. This imbalance is seen due to the increase in algal growth in the water body. This shows that, though algae is a food resource for the flamingos, its uncontrolled growth has an adverse effect on aquatic life.
Besides flamingos, we also observe swallows, egrets, lapwings, stilts, a variety of butterflies, and other fauna at the site. This showed that the study site displayed a good habitat, not only for the flamingos, but also for a variety of other flora and fauna as well. If no action is taken against the degrading water quality of the site, then the entire food web would be disturbed and a large number of organisms will be affected by it.
We could confidently conclude that human activities concerning redevelopment and dumping of debris at the study location were responsible for degrading the water quality, promoting algal growth at the location, hence providing a flourishing habitat resulting in an increased migration of flamingos. Human activities have already led to the loss of natural habitats across the globe, and future developmental activities can lead to further degradation of existing habitat like Talve. Hence, it is extremely important to spread awareness about such a sensitive ecological issue. For me, the most enjoyable part during the project was going to NRI colony and knowing more about flamingos. Also, we learned and applied the methodology of design thinking to a procedure wherein we defined the research question, ideated our hypothesis, and created a prototype and tested it out to verify our hypothesis.
Sorry, I wasn't able to unmute myself. Group projects are always enjoyable as working in a team environment offers differing perspectives and feedback while improving efficiency and productivity. Moreover, Citia's lab gave us the opportunity to think originally and explore our city, which was the most exciting part of the project.
We all were given an opportunity to choose and conduct research based on our real life problems in our locality, which was very enthralling for me. I personally developed leadership qualities, coordination, and rational thinking in the process of the project, which proved to be a benefit for me in real life situations.
Touring the naturescapes present in my city, observing the flamingos in the habitat, and conducting surveys were the most intriguing parts of the project. Working for the project enhanced my analytical skills and encouraged me for being curious and not accepting the world as it is presented to us, but rather understanding the reason for everything being the way it is.
The part of the project that I enjoyed the most was learning more about my environment by actually going on the field for research work. I would strongly recommend other students to actively participate in such projects as it changes our perspective of acknowledging nature. Also in the school we are given a problem by the teacher and we solve it. But here we ourselves are identifying a sensitive environmental issue and working on it to find a solution. This makes us more connected to our surroundings and enhances our ability to think critically. Thank you, and we will be taking any questions you have for us now.
Thank you, participants. Good presentation. I open this forum for question answer session. So, panelists, please, you can ask questions.
Can I ask the question?
Yes.
Yeah. See, they mentioned that they have photographic evidence, but can they show some for us?
Sure, sir. So these were the various birds observed by us at the study site. So you can see lapwings, egrets, plain-tailed tiger butterfly. This is us at the study site, and behind is the Talve wetlands. These are the pictures of the wetlands, that is the algal growth on the water body.
Thank you.
I have a question to the team. First thing, I would like to congratulate them for a very, very beautifully done presentation and very nicely presented by all the participants. We got to know what you wanted to say, and that's a great plus point for this presentation. But I just want a clarification from you. You are saying that increasing pollution has led to algae growth and then the flourishing of, birds and other migratory birds visiting the place, right? That is your first point.
Yes.
And at the same time, you're saying that if you don't control the pollution, it may harm the marine life.
Yes,
Are you saying that?
Yes, ma'am.
So at one level, the pollution is actually helping in increasing the visits of migratory birds, and a variety of birds flourish in the environment. At the same time, if you don't control the thing, so they are actually at loggerheads, right? The two things. So I think the choice is how do we actually balance the two. Is that what you are saying?
Yes, ma'am. We are saying that we need to reduce the pollution levels, because even though right now the increased algal blooms have led to an increase in the migration of birds, it is harming the birds as well as the ecosystem.
How is it harming the birds?
Ma'am, an increase in the nutrients and minerals present in the water body, hence it is also increase in the algal blooms. So the algae has a higher content of toxic metals and hard metals. So when the birds eat it, their muscles grow heavy and hence they are not able to fly back to their place of origin.
Okay. So that I think these points need to be brought out in the presentation more clearly, because you are saying that at one level we are very happy they are coming, but at the other side, on the other side, there are more serious issues, right? And those issues also need to be Because now the industrialists will say, well, we pollute because we are getting more pelicans.
No,
When the flamingos. It can be like saying, okay, pollute the water more so that you can have more flamingos visiting. But then the fact, the issues or the implications of it need to be more clearly highlighted. Congratulations, very good presentation.
Ma'am, as you said, we should include it. I agree. But however, the research question which we took up, it was relating to the environment and not to the flamingos. However, it affects the flamingos. So we will definitely add up. Just I wanted to clarify that our research question stated about the site.
Yeah, it's true that sometimes what happens is when we are doing research, some inadvertent or some other things crop up when we are trying, which are equally important. So we need to highlight them also. It's very important. For instance, slums and the previous session, those high rises. So they didn't want to ask the question. Whatever they had, the hypothesis was clear. But there was a very clear indicator that there's a divide between the high rises and the slums because of the way they use the services and also the way they perceive the services. So there is more what you call a lack of trust in the high rises about the government, their attitude towards governments, whatever may be the reason. There is a definite difference in the way they perceive the public utilities. Similarly here also, while you're talking about this, if you come across such thing, because that forms the basis for your next research.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you take it forward? So that gives the proper research-based basis for asking the next question. And the success of your research is also reflected in how many such linkages that you are able to identify. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Keep it in mind.
Yeah.